Do you guys remember Organism 46B?
I do.
Do you remember it?
Mm-hmm.
I hated that one.
I loved it.
I'm going to be really honest and frank with you. I hated it because it was bullshit. That's my true take on it.
It was fiction.
It was pure fiction. And I don't like that. Like, I want to like make videos and things, paranormal videos and things about things that are real. I mean, I can't necessarily prove that they're real, but we also can't disprove them. I don't like stories that are just completely made up. I don't like that. Why did you like it?
Because it was fiction and it was a fun story.
Yeah, it made me ask why people liked it so much, because over on Facebook we got like 2 million views on it or something, and I was like, is it just because it gave people something to imagine? Is it the imagination part of it? Did it make you feel something? Like, why did that one do so well? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started to wonder if I could find stories like it, but like real ones. You know, obviously we're not going to find stories about the alien under the Arctic ice that mimics people and stuff. That's not going to happen. But things that feel similar, if that makes sense. Stories that don't rely on fiction. Just on the fact that we don't fully understand how the human body works. Not really, not all the way. And what we might be picking up on. And now we're here. So there's something that affects people physically and emotionally that we can't see or hear. We can't see it, we can't hear it. It's just something that affects our bodies in a very strange way, and it's called infrasound. Infrasound is a frequency that exists below the range of human hearing. You don't consciously hear it. There's no sound to point to, no noise to like explain what you're feeling. But researchers believe the human nervous system can still detect it. People exposed to infrasound have reported sudden anxiety, pressure in the chest, nausea, dizziness, and overwhelming sense of dread with no obvious cause. It sounds like I'm reading the side effects list on a medication, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
First, some people describe the feeling as something being wrong even though nothing's happening. Others say they feel like they're being watched, and some feel an urgent need to leave a place, like immediately, not because of fear that they can explain, but because their body is telling them that they need to go. One thing that makes it so unsettling is not everyone feels the same way or reacts the same way. Two people can stand in the same place at the same time, and one person can feel absolutely nothing, and the other person just feels pure panic and needs to get out of there, which is weird, right? That's weird. Researchers have linked infrasound to locations that have long been thought to be haunted, which I think is really interesting too. Places that we might think are haunted are just being affected by infrasound. Places like old buildings, tunnels, factories, industrial sites, even like open landscapes where wind's moving through the structures or terrain and creating a low frequency vibration. In some experiments, people exposed to it report seeing shadowy movements at the edges of their vision or feeling a presence in the room that wasn't there. There's nothing physically present, but their brains fill in the blanks, which is also interesting. And the most unsettling theory isn't that infrasound creates fear, it's that it activates something already inside you, your survival instincts. Why? Like, how do we know to react that way? Isn't that crazy? Your nervous system doesn't wait for proof. It doesn't analyze the situation. It doesn't ask questions. It just reacts. And if that's true, how many moments of fear in your life weren't emotional at all? How many times did you have anxiety hit you out of nowhere? How many times did a place feel wrong even though you really couldn't explain why it felt wrong? It just did. What if your body wasn't responding to something your mind couldn't detect? What if some people are simply just more sensitive to it? And for me personally, the part that unsettles me more than anything isn't the fear itself, it's the question of why it's already there. I really, genuinely, this creeps me out. Why does the human body react before the mind understands in this situation? Why does it feel ancient? Why does it feel instinctive and almost misplaced in the modern world? It makes me wonder what we went through as a species that required that kind of response, that fear without a sound, without sight, remembered by the nervous system. Even the conscious mind has no context for it, but we are afraid of it for some reason. Like what happened? That feels very alien to me. Not because it's unnatural, but because it doesn't seem to belong now. It feels like a survival mechanism for a world we no longer live in. Triggered by something we can't name anymore. That's the part for me that lingers. What do you think? Is that creepy?
Yeah,
I feel like that's creepy.
Yeah.
It's a survival instinct.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What happened, guys? Guys, what happened? It really creeps me out. Like, that one got under my skin. There's no warning when infrasound appears. No sound to cover your ears from, no clear source to point out. It's just a feeling. And it's a bad one. And that uncomfortable thought that sometimes your fear isn't imagined, it's detected. And this is exactly the kind of story I want to share here on Ether Files. Not things that are made up just to be creepy, where science doesn't have all the answers yet. That's the thing that I like. It's real stuff that's just creepy, unsettling, and doesn't have any answers. And this won't be the last, because this has been an Ether Files, and we'll see you between the frequencies. Bye.